Hello everyone. Anyone here? Hello. Just waiting for a few of them to join. Hi. Who is this? Just if you're joining and if you're there, just drop me a hi so I know who's joined. And hi Venu. Very good evening. How are you? So glad you could join. I'm just waiting for, let's get, is it okay if we can wait for a couple of them and then we can start off? Rohit, hi. Thanks for joining in. Ram, very good evening. Hi, how are you? Just going to wait for a couple more minutes if you guys are all right. Hi, Bharat. Very good evening. Thank you so much for joining. If you guys are okay, we will just wait for a couple of minutes. Finally, yes, Venu. It's just so I've made it very easy on Facebook because I feel a lot of them can benefit from it. And also, I leave after the session, I leave the video, the session on my wall. So, people can watch it at any time and also share it. A lot of them have really liked it. So, they are actually sending my sessions to their loved ones. Hi, Pankaj. Hi, Om. Hi, Bharat. Very good evening. So lovely to see you every week with me here. Hi, Om. Same here. Missed you last week, I guess, or I'm not sure if you were there. Probably we'll just give another minute or so and then, we can start off. And I'd like to show you the sun today. Today, it's a bit of a hide and seek, unable to see. Hi, Mala. So lovely that you could join. It's amazing to see friends and family and my really dear friends joining for the session. And today's session, by the way, the topic, everybody really loved it. And they're keen on, seeing and knowing about this topic that I've just mentioned today. Hi, Renu. Renuka from Chennai, Ram from Chennai, Om from Bangalore, Mala from Bangalore, Bharat, I'm not sure, Renuka. Okay, so I'm just going to see if I can show you the sunset, but no, it's not that way. The sun is hiding. He's hiding here somewhere, so I'm just going to try and show you. This is my customary sunset that I show all of you. I'm not sure if you can see, but I think it's hiding somewhere, so yep, and that's the view. I have a railway gate and the entire greenery in front of me. This is like an army property that you can see. Okay. Hi, Dr. Yatri. So lovely you could join. Yatri from Bombay, I guess. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start off. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Winner Mindset series by Viji Murthy. And this is my 5th episode, and I'm so happy and glad that all of you, so many of you are actually joining week on week, and I'm getting great feedback that it's helping you all and you're implementing all of the information that I have been sharing. Hi Sam, very good evening. Bharat is saying, I'm pakka local, I mean Bengaluru Huduga. Very good, yes. Very nice. Soundarya, lovely. Hi, good evening guys. So I'm just starting off, all right. Okay, so today, the topic that I have chosen is emotional stamina building. Yes, you have been seeing a lot of this information everywhere on Insta, on social media, on papers, on radio, everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. But I really wanted to kind of highlight a few thoughts of mine that I had about emotional stamina building. Yes, a lot of there was one session that I took and we spoke about immunity building, right? And that's a physical aspect. Hi Sandeep, hi Prakash, hi Sandarya, hi Arihant, Kotari, hi. Right, so we did speak about the physical immunity and the immunity building in one of my sessions. So people who are first, you all can go and check out my other live sessions. It's on my wall, on my profile. So this one, I'm really wanting to focus on emotional stamina building. And now what is emotional stamina building? The reason it is even more obvious, or really staring at our face at this time, is because of the breakdown that we've had, which means that a breakdown in our entire routine of life, right? The lockdown has really kind of given us challenges, which is not very easy for a lot of us to crack, right? Especially, the emotion side is what I'm talking about. Okay. Hey, Manasa. Okay, so I'm just going to really start off with why stamina building and why emotional stamina building, and then we'll jump into, what is it and why do we require, why is it happening and what you can actually do to become really strong emotionally. Okay, so a couple of things. One is definitely the lockdown. It's really giving us like a pain, right? What's not only challenging us is physically with all the chores, the household work, the work from home, looking after our children, cooking, house, everything, right? Not only that, but also the anxiety and the fear, the financial breakdown also that's occurring throughout this time is also kind of really causing that panic as well, right? Okay, so emotional stability and endurance is the ability to stay strong under challenging circumstances. Like life right now is such that it's demanding us to really stretch emotionally, and that too on multiple levels. Yes, and why do I say that? Let's see what do I have to say about it, right? And what my thoughts are on that. When I was really making notes and I was preparing for this session today, what really came to my mind is, when we want to go to a marathon, right? None of us can really go and run a 5 kilo marathon if you're not prepared. And when I say prepared, if you're physically fit or your stamina is really good, you are someone who exercises routinely, you can really pull it off, right? If you're already prepared and you know that you can, really take up that 5K marathon. It's the same thing with emotional marathon as well. If you have really not invested in anything to build up your emotional side or emotional well-being, it is not going to be easy, especially times like this. And that is what is really jarring and looking at our face right now, isn't it? Wouldn't you agree about it? So this is the time when, when you're prepared, anything is absolutely easy to go ahead and achieve it. And when I'm saying about that, I'm actually talking about a marathon here, the example for some of them who just joined, right? It's the same thing with emotional stamina as well. Emotional stamina is something none of us or our school systems don't teach us. We don't have a structured way of empowering us emotionally. Parents really, one generation before or even now, majority, there is no focus on emotional well-being or emotional studies or emotionally making you really stable. We don't have any such official or professional teaching that, most of us go through. And that's one of the biggest, gap is what I also see why we are caught off guard when situations like this arise, right? This lockdown, this entire time is really causing us a big amount of chaos, is because we are not prepared, we are not taught, we are not spoken about it. The max, what one can probably say or will say is, no, don't get angry, don't fret. Why is it that you're getting angry? Cool down, calm down. How many of you have really kind of heard such kind of, phrases when you really want is someone to really understand, and you want them to understand what's going on with you. And that's something that majority of us don't have, that kind of conversation, be it our partners, our children, our parents, our spouses, most of them, right? The reason I'm wanting to bring all of this, or for you to really understand the background of it, is first, learning for anything, the first important aspect is awareness. And that I've always focused upon that. Awareness is extremely true. Sorry, Sam is saying, haha, true. Exactly, right? awareness is the first step to learning, knowing, and doing. The minute you're aware, there is no looking back. Now that you know this is why it happens, this is what happens, and this is the gap, this is where I lack, there is no looking back. The second step is acceptance, right? And we will get to that. And the first step I always do is give you a good amount of awareness that you can, that you can take away, and you can't look back after that, right? Another, phrases that people say, oh, something would have happened and that's why he's behaving like this. Acha, boss ne kuch kaha hoga, that's why he's talking like this. Oh, probably he had a jagda with his wife, and this is why he's angry. How many of us have actually had that experience or that told to us on our face? Tell me yes, if you have heard such phrases or you've said such things to your children, your spouses, your friends. Acha, you had a bad day. Acha, bad day at work. Okay, too much of work at home. Right now, the only topic is jhadu pocha and somebody's frustrated. And last week we had an amazing session about it. Please go check it out. It's a session on you don't have to be a god or goddess to go through this lockdown, right? And we spoke about that. So just tell me yes, if anybody's heard that phrase saying that, oh, you've had a fight with your boss, or you've had a fight with your spouse, or fight with your wife, oh, acha bhadas nikal rahe ho ab, those are the statements. How many of you said it or have heard it or are going through? Just give me a yes. I really like this to be participatory because I don't want it to be one side where you're just listening, right, to gyan. I don't want it that way. I really want to keep it creative and interactive. So Sam has already said yes. Manish Patel says yes. He has had that. Okay, so that's good. So let's move on. Okay, so the first, so one is the awareness, right? The second is what is actually the emotional stamina that we're talking about. Emotional stamina is nothing but choosing your emotions. If you are emotionally, Venu saying yes often, yeah, you don't seem like that. You seem like a really calm person, but right, all of us go through it, correct? So what is emotional stamina? Emotional stamina is when you are choosing your emotions. If you're emotionally energized or stabilized or you're stable, you can choose your mood and feelings instead of allowing the external parameters or external influences, situations, people, even right now it's an external situation that has been created is what we are going through right now. You can choose your mood and feelings instead of allowing the external parameters and situations to impact you. An emotionally healthy person can remain unaffected and positive despite of situations and people and not behaving in the expected manner. Right, so what does that mean is that you are not someone who's easily influenced by external influences or situations or people, and then your response is because all of this is happening around me, hence my behavior is like this, right? But all of the external influences or situations or people, irrespective of what they are, and you have your own positive outlook, positive response, that is where you are emotionally stable. You are emotionally energized. Your emotional stamina is really at a good level, right? I don't entertain beyond a limit. Naved is saying. Okay, so could be, probably you're talking about the external influences. Yeah, right? So that is what emotional stamina means, right? Anything and everything which is happening outside you, you don't react to it in a way which is not a well-being for you. And that is what we're talking about, right? Let's move ahead with why, we have or why we are going through what we're going through right now in terms of stress, anxiety, doubt, and all of those things, right? The first thing, and one of my friend also just mentioned about it this evening, Neelu, if you're there, or probably someone else as well, the first parameter, the first reason why I would really want to talk about is expectations. Yes, expectations is such a big word, right? That my expectation from my spouse is this, my expectation from my children is this, my expectation from my parents is this, my expectation that my friends should do this for me, my expectation is that my job should be providing me this, or that's the way somebody should react to me or behave with me, right? So here are two different parts. I'm not talking about roles, responsibilities and duties somebody's supposed to do as per their role or what they should be doing in their position. I'm not talking about that expectation. I'm talking about the expectation where you have n number of expectation from somebody, right? So your spouse is probably, for example, it could be he, she, whoever, right? I'm just giving you a scenario, a hypothetical scenario where your spouse has a work from home situation right now, but your expectation is that he or she is supposed to do this, right? However, they are unable to fulfill the way you want to do it or when they want to do it, right? Because they could have their own rhythm, they could have their own discipline, they could have the way they want to do, and it is new for them too. And please understand, this is a situation which is affecting everybody. Nobody is left untouched just because probably the other person is calm or not frustrated or showing their anger or anxiety doesn't mean they are fighting with it or they are going through the changes as well, right? So Venu says, in the present scenario, I think it is important to have emotional stamina to adapt to the present situation. Absolutely. Who is talking about emotional stamina? Yes, immunity is a very, very big topic right now. Physical immunity is a very big topic right now. But then emotional immunity, emotional stamina is directly linked to your physical immunity, right? Venu saying, very good topic to talk and discuss about. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're actually relating to it and connecting. Bharat says, expectations because of beliefs that I grew up with. See, if it is something which is contributing or if it is, positive and if it's working for you, fantastic. However, if you are with somebody else, let's say your friends, your family, at this particular situation, it's mainly your family that, you are with. Probably the other person doesn't resonate or is not is not in the same tandem mindset as you're probably bringing. Probably they grew up in a different way, but having expectations continuously causes a lot of anger, anxiety. So what you're doing is, if the other person doesn't react or behave or do things what you want them to do, is when your responses really trigger anxiety, anger, fury. What is this? Why are you doing like this? You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do this way. You're supposed to do this at this time. This is how you're supposed to do. Yes, but please understand, they are doing it, right? You are supposed to also take a step back. That is where your emotional stamina and your emotional power, I would say, is to allow. Allowance is a big step in emotional stamina. Sam is saying, you got to be serene and calm, breathe in and breathe out. Absolutely, right? That is one of the way. We will come to that. You're already ahead of what we should be doing. It's fantastic, right? That's a one thing. Second one is out of normal routine. Right? What's happening is, right now it is a complete 360-degree change in the way we functioned, the way we have worked. The world is looked a work or a job or household and aspects like that. It's a complete break in the way things have always been. So when there is a change in norm and routine, it is a jerk for all of us. And what also happens is, the brain is always trained to see patterns. When you don't see a particular pattern continuing, your brain is also trying to adjust and understand and comprehend, okay, what is happening? Why is all of this happening, right? And that's a second part of why you also need to understand emotional stamina is important, right? The third part is, the third point, is work, job, finances. They are all actually at a very sensitive time at this moment, right? There's a lot of anxiety around job. There's a lot of anxiety around, not being paid. So much of, economic crisis is also kind of on the way. That also kind of leads to, anxiety. So when you are not, so what I'm also telling you is, when you are not in a space of emotional strength and these could all be the causes around you, is when you are not at your best, when you have to emotionally handle a situation better, right? And hence you require to build your emotional stamina, and we will come to that. Okay. The fourth reason is self-doubt. Most often than not, what happens is, when you are in self-doubt, when you are not sure about your capabilities, your competencies, your ability of being able to do something, is also a lot of fear comes in. And when you're functioning with fear, when you're functioning with anger and self-doubt, and you are not very confident in how you want to do something, is where you also trying to cover up all of those emotional stress, is where you also come out with not great responses, right? Okay, that's a fourth why. The fifth why is hate, jealousy, competition, comparison. And according to me, these are also the biggest evils of someone not being able to build their emotional stamina. When you are not very in allowance with somebody else's success, in allowance to somebody else doing well, if you're constantly comparing, oh, this person got promoted, this person didn't, or why did he get this rating, why did she do this, how come she got this, how is it they are able to do what they're able to do in their house, when there's a lot of comparison, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of competition. Also, it could be comparison. Let me talk to you with this day scenario is, my mother or my mother-in-law wants me to do X kind of a job only in the morning, but I'm unable to do it, right? There's a sense of competition. There's a sense of comparison, but you're unable to do it. You're unable to express to them that it is not possible, especially with the given current scenario. Right? Keeping up to the expectation of others also is one of the reason why your emotional drain happens as well. Okay. The next one, and I'm sure all of you are catching up with me, guys. I mean, am I too fast? Can you please just say hi or yes, you're with me on this? Can I just see a few hands? Venkat, hi. Ravi saying fantastic, super, thank you so much. Ravi saying yes. Kamaljeet is saying yes. Kamaljeet is watching, hi. Okay. Okay, Mala saying yes. Ram is saying yes. So you're resonating with what I'm saying. Fantastic. Good. Sam, yes. Sam says yes. Totally agree. Comparison is the greatest issue. See, comparison to me is, one thing about comparison I've always felt is, it's one, Venu saying all good, fantastic. Bharat, yes. Manish, yes. You're all of you with me. Bharat, perfect. Comparison is an evil root cause for anything and everything in the human potential to not be fulfilled. Navid is also saying yes with you, right? So comparison, let me repeat again. Comparison, according to me, and I have had a strong belief from a very young, child. I think it's thanks to my parents. Rashmi is also saying yes, fantastic. Comparison really kills the potential, true potential of a human being. Comparison, be it anything, right? If you are a parent, my humble request is not to compare your child. If you don't have a child, but then you compare yourself to somebody else, again, my humble request, don't compare yourself to anybody. Everybody is given unique abilities, unique talent and skills. And that's the reason we have so many different things in the world. Please don't compare yourself to anybody. That is the biggest harm you'll be doing to yourself for your potential to be really, really, really powerful. Okay, let's move on. Okay, everybody's good. Yes, Rashmi is also saying yes. Okay, the next one is functioning from and this is what I really also feel, and I said this is something I want to talk to you more about also, is functioning from a top superficial layer of emotions, right? And that to me is also very important. And the reason I wanted to share this particular point with you is, a lot of us are going through something which is not very deep rooted, right? And And that's the reason there's so much of anxiety, anger, frustration, depression, irritation, sarcasm. All of that is happening right now because a lot of us, or the error is that way, right? And I don't blame anybody with it, but then this is the right time for us to learn, understand, be aware, and become better, right? So a lot of us react from a very superficial top level. Somebody said this, how can she say that? Somebody said that, how can he behave like that with me? How can she say something like that? How can he talk to me like this? But where is your emotional strength, right? If everybody is going through an emotional stress right now, is because there is not much of an emotional strength investment that we have done in the past, which is actually giving us the returns right now. Don't you all agree with that? Right? So functioning from a top superficial level of emotions and responses is also something which causes a lot of emotional chaos. And it is not easy. I'm not saying that you hear this session and tomorrow you're going to wake up and become like a Buddha. No, it's not going to happen. But you need to be aware, and you can choose and pick from where is what topic, as in what particular point do I fall in. Where is it that I'm making a mistake in trying to understand somebody, or where is it that, what level of emotional level am I functioning from, right? Okay, so functioning from a top superficial level, that is one. Okay, and the next one, this is a much more deeper aspect, right? So I don't know if how many of you all know, but I'm also a Reiki healer. I'm an angel therapist. I connect with the angels. I've done my Reiki. I've just recently done Karunaki Reiki. I've done Usui Reiki. I've been into spiritualism from I think when I was like 22, 23 maybe, but I'm not going to tell you how old I am now, right? But also what happens, I've understood, in the recent past, in the many years, is past suppressed negative emotions also come out in different ways. It does lead to a lot of anger, does lead to responses where it is not good for your well-being. You blast out on somebody, or you might even watch somebody just getting angry for the nick of everything, right? At the drop of everything, they just get angry. Probably they're not happy with their jobs, or they're not fulfilling their destiny, or not really doing what they like to do. All of that anger comes out, right? But there could be some people who are doing really well with everything, but this person, out of nowhere is constantly frustrated or angry or depressed. There are a lot of aspects also that we've seen. It could also be a past suppressed negative emotions. It's just like dusting the kachra under your bed or your carpet all the time and pretending to the fact that that doesn't exist. That is also a big build-up of, emotionally draining situation for a lot of people, right? Okay, now also the reason why emotional stamina building is even more important is because when somebody is emotionally weak, the person is also vulnerable and is affected to changes in the physical environment much more faster. If you really see someone's immunity is low, they are the first ones to get affected with something. Or if they're really angry, have you heard about BP and angry being related to each other, or depression and blood pressures being related to each other? Not able to express their emotions, a lot of them also leads to a lot of heart issues, right? So every emotion is actually related to a physical ailment. And we could probably talk about that on another day on another topic, right? Naveed says reasons are many how to encounter in well-stepped manner. Definitely one is a well manner, but then I think also is to take a step back, assess your thinking, assess your response, and also assess the other person from where they're coming, why are they saying what they're saying. It could be the other person. I'm not talking about you always being angry or being anxious. It could be that someone in your family is going through what they're going through, and you at a distance are seeing it, and this, what we are having, this discussion, what we are having, you could probably relate to that person and say, hey, now I know why they're going through what they're going through. And hence, this could be my response, right? Okay, so I'm just going to repeat again all the reasons that we spoke about right now. The reasons and why is also, it's important for us to know, is when somebody's emotionally weak, they are the one who is vulnerable, in the physical environment. When there are changes, in the physical environment, the person who's emotionally weak are the first ones to be very vulnerable and get affected. All right. Okay, so all good now. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to ask you a quick question. Kavita, you just joined. Probably you can have a look at it after the session, the first half, what we've done. Okay, what I'm going to quickly ask you to do is, tell me one person in your life whom you think is extremely emotionally strong according to you. And give me one thing what they do, or one word, could be anything that they're practicing. If you think you yourself are emotionally emotional stable person, please list out and say, give me that name. One person who you think in your life is emotionally strong, who has a great emotional stability or a stamina. Okay, Sam is saying, I have a question. The build-up happens sometimes. We try to negate or overcome it, which is equally tough. As humans, it may come out later on a mild perspective. Is there a way to deal with this? Absolutely. That's a fantastic question. Okay, just for everybody else, I'm going to read it again. The build-up happens sometimes. We try to negate or overcome it, which is equally tough. Right? Yes. So, what happens is when this happens is, one, it could be the expectation if you have that person, right? I don't know what the reason is. The emotional build-up happens when you're putting up with, they are not meeting your expectation, all the reasons that we spoke about. You are not allowing the person to be what they are, but the expectations could be. But I don't know what the reason here is. As humans, it may come out later on a mild perspective. Is there a way to deal with this? So I am going to tell you the how can you deal with it? What do you do to build a strong emotional stamina? I'm going to talk about it right now. Okay. Bharat is saying, my mother, highly determined. Absolutely. That is so amazing to know. But what I want you to do today, Bharat, is, it's a very offbeat. It is not in my preparation in my notes today, but I would want you to reach out to her and tell her, I appreciate for your determination and I am learning that. How does that sound? Can you do that for me today? And see the smile on her face, right? Make somebody smile. Okay, Navid is saying, my close friend, simply don't react with word, but with action. So that is another way of response, right? It could not necessarily be talking or one thing I really want to make clear is, when there's an abuse or when there is harassment, and this is a very sensitive point and topic that I'm talking about, when there is harassment, or when there is abuse, when there is unacceptable behavior, that's a different, there is a difference between expectation and non-accepting. Some of the behaviors are non-acceptance. They have to deal with it, or you have to deal with it. You have to work on it, right? It is not, I'm not asking you to be okay with those things. I want to make that very clear, right? Okay, I hope I've cleared that, and I've been wanting to kind of tell that. Okay, Sam is saying, my father, he has pulled the family through the ups and downs and seen him strong as a rock, unshaken. Absolutely, right? Being so strong emotionally in any given situation, you are not only able to pull yourself through, but you're able to pull a force of a family, of your entire brothers, sisters, and give them a life. And that's what I'm calling as emotional stamina. And we have to become individuals like that. Okay. Naveed says, this is simply use of anger in a positive way. Yeah, it is a passive aggressive, maybe, someone really converts that anger into a positive way, as long as it's working for them and as long as it's not hurting them emotionally or in any other way. That's absolutely brilliant, right? Yeah, everything doesn't have to be in spoken words, correct? Bharat is saying, yes, sure, thank you. Venu is saying, one of the points I would like to share is that life has taught me to adapt to changing situations in life. Absolutely. The reason being that, and I'm going to come to that, but you're already in that part, Venu, which is fantastic. Kudos to you. Um, Being adaptable, being flexible, and being open is one of the biggest key to build an emotional stamina. Yes, and knowing you as long as I've known you in the recent past, I see that, right? Being very open, and let me tell you guys, probably you all might want to connect with Venu after this session as well. He is one of the most calm person, the person who's always smiling, and who really can take any situation, any conversation, and not react badly to it. And he's just amazing at that, right? Absolutely. The reason you also allowed those situations to teach you is because you were open, Venu. And that is what I'm also going to talk to you about. All right. Okay. So anyone else coming with their answer? Can we move ahead? Okay. Yes, you're welcome. Okay. I'm now going to move ahead with the most important part as well. How do we really build our emotional stamina? Right? That's the most important crux as well. Okay, so first I spoke to you about awareness. We spoke about all of the reasons why do we need it, what is emotional stamina, what happens, the reasons why we go off guard and we go off track emotionally, right? And why do we need emotional strength as well. And now I'm going to talk to you about how do you improve your stamina emotionally. All right. Okay, one is practice affirmations every day, and that's brought about a huge wave in the recent past. If you really look at it, there are a lot of videos around it, a lot of experts who've really done a fantastic job around that. That's something you could imbibe. And when I talk about for affirmations, we can probably do another session on that. It's positive affirmations on a daily basis. Practice them, right? You can probably look at that, but I'm not going to get too deep into that because I really want to give you, 8 to 9 tools of how you can build your stamina emotionally. The second one is stick to your core principles. Yes, stick to your core principles. When I say that, you shouldn't be someone who's dilly-dallying at any given situation. I want you to really remain firm in your principles, in your beliefs, in your core system, irrespective of what the situation is outside, right? And that only comes with practice, with knowing, with understanding, with writing, and knowing, okay, what is my biggest belief? What is my strongest positive point? Where is it that I can really go off guard? How much can a person try and test me or not? Right? So I want you to be really strong at your core principles. It could be your faith, it could be your religion, it could be your practices, it could be something that you've taken from your parents, like someone who just mentioned, probably, was it Bharat? Yeah, Bharat is saying, my mother, highly determined, probably something that you've taken off, somebody's taken from their parents. Be very determined, don't let anything outside disturb you. Don't be a dilly-dally person. Somebody doesn't do this, then I get angry. Somebody doesn't do that, then I get angry. Somebody has some other reaction, this is my response, right? The third one is chanting. Yes, I know I've not gone into this realm a lot, but then what I'm really proposing is a few things. One is chant Om, or any of your religious mantras, or any of your religious, might be your Bible, maybe your Quran, maybe, the mantras that we have on a daily basis, right? Chant them and be regular with it. Don't let go of our, old rituals or our family given traditions. That really keeps us grounded. It really does. Bharat says, I do affirmations looking at the mirror from a very long time. That's fantastic, Bharat. So probably you and I will connect. Probably we can have one session just on affirmations. Yeah. Let me know, guys. Leave a feedback, right now or probably after the video. Let me know if you really want to know about affirmations, and we can do a session on that. I'm very happy to coach you and talk to you about that, right? The next one, the fourth one, is yoga. The first was practice affirmations every day. Second is stick to your core principles. Third is chant Om, or any of your religious mantras, or anything that you think you have, prayers that you can say on a daily basis. All right. Fourth is yoga. Yes, yoga is extremely helpful. Even just your pranayama or your Surya Namaskara or any physical exercises helps you remove all the stress, the toxins, all of the toxin buildup in your brain that I'm talking about, and even physically, it just let it go out. All right, that's your fourth one. Um, Sam says Om chanting is very strong. Absolutely. So here's another tip, guys. I'll probably give you a tip right now. This is a bonus tip. It's not in my notes that I've prepared for you all. If you're not able to chant, what you can actually do is in your YouTube or any of your music system, or put it on, or any of your videos, just put the mantra on loop and just let it be in your house. As long as it's playing for an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, your subconscious mind does pick it up. The environment picks it up. It energizes the environment that you're in. It removes the toxic negative energy around you. It does. All right, so that's something you can do. Okay, and the fifth one is meditation. Right, meditation again is not very easy, but then if you're practicing, fantastic. If practicing meditation, give me a thumbs up or just tell me yes. It'll be really nice to know. Right, meditation really grounds you, right? And it is not something new that's come into our life. If you really see, Indian culture, Hinduism is the oldest religion that's ever existed. Yes, right? And meditation is a part of our Hindu culture. And you don't have to be shy. Just go into a room, just get you into a corner, make your space, and just sit. And meditation doesn't mean that you have to calm your mind and stop your thinking. It's not going to happen. Allow it, accept it, and sit with yourself. And that's important, right? That's one of the aspects of meditation. The next one, the sixth one, is keep your surroundings clean. Yes, as cliche as it sounds, and as difficult it is, especially in the lockdown days, right? Keeping our surroundings clean and the household chores, I can't tell you. Yes, keep your surroundings as clean as possible. The reason being that cleanliness is equally, and I can't tell you in words maybe, but cleanliness is really directly related to positive environment and a positive aura around you, and it directly links you to the higher up. It could be God, divine, spiritual, anybody and anything that you want to call. Yes, it really helps you, and it gives you a sense of peace around you as well. Yeah, it is difficult, especially at these times, but give it a try. Okay. The seventh one is assess your thoughts. Yes, assess your thoughts. They are powerful than your words. So even before your words come out of your mouth, you do know that there's a lot of thinking that's happening. And you're able to say only a few words as much as is going on in your head and through your mouth, through your words. So your thoughts really are much more powerful than the words that you speak, right? So before your response of an anger or irritation or anxiety, right, what really is happening up here is all of that hate is happening here, all of that jealousy is happening here, all of that anger is happening here. How could she do this? How could she talk that? Why is she doing this? Why should she do that? Why can't I do that? All of that comparison, the hate, the jealousy, the negativity, all of that is happening here. Assess that first. And when I say meditate, right, Venu is saying it's difficult, you might want to, but yeah, give it a try, right? So what happens when your meditation is, you are actually looking and listening to your thoughts. Allow your brain, to be what it wants to be. And then what you do is cleanse your thoughts. Yes, when I say cleanse your thoughts, assess your thoughts. Now you tell me, don't you think you can catch yourself thinking a negative thought and really getting into that analysis of, oh my God, versus, okay, now this is happening. This is the way I think. Why am I hating this? Why am I angry about the situation? Why am I frustrated with that person? Versus, I'm going to do this to this person. I'm going to do that to the person. This is my response going to be to that person. Let that person call, right? Versus, okay, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to see, okay, this is what's happening, but why am I feeling what I'm feeling? Can I convert it to something more positive and something more emotionally stable for myself? right? So that's the 7.7th one. Okay, I'm going to quickly repeat. First was how can you really, and we are talking, a lot of them have just joined us now. We're talking about how do you build emotional stamina. One, practice affirmations every day. Second, stick to your core principles. Third, chant Om or any of your religious prayer or your mantras that you have. Fourth, yoga, any kind of physical activity and especially breathing exercises. Fifth, meditation. Yes, catch your thoughts. Sixth, keep your surroundings clean. Seventh, assess your thoughts. They are really powerful than your words. And the eighth one is develop hobbies, guys. So how many times have you all, you'll have said or you'll probably heard, Vela hai isliye itna, he's probably so angry. He has nothing to do. Maybe that's why he's so frustrated. Probably he just doesn't have too many things to do. Hence, probably, he has a lot of time for all such things, right? So develop hobbies. It could be gardening. Okay, I'm not talking about cooking right now, but yeah, cooking could also be a soulful act for a lot of us right now. But yes, you can post this lockdown or during this lockdown, find out what is it that you really love doing, right? Develop hobbies, right? It could be gardening, creative writing, poetry, coloring, it could be so many things, designing something, stitching, bring back all of those things that you really liked. Do that. Okay, and my time is almost up and I'm just another 5 minutes away, guys. And the last one, the ninth one, is empathy and compassion. Empathy and compassion can break the unrealistic expectations from others that we have. Yes, I'm not talking about sympathy, I'm talking about empathy, especially for your loved ones, your family that you're living with right now, or even the ones that you're going to be, working with in the future, and for all of them around you. Have empathy towards people and compassion towards others. That will really limit your expectations from others. All right? Okay, so seventh point was really true. Assess. Okay, Ram is saying seventh point was really true. Manish is saying once we watch negative things, it helps in focusing to get converted to positive. Absolutely. Preman says those who keep writing is great vent. Absolutely. Journal writing. Keeping up a journal is also an excellent way to really build up your emotional stamina. The only thing is don't read them back again. Just vent out everything possible in a journal. Thank you so much. So that makes it 10 points, Preman. Keep a journal and you don't have to read back. Going to start that now. Venu, fantastic. Okay, now I quickly want all of you to just write down one word or one tip that I've given you today, right? What I've taught you right now. Give me one thing that you're going to practice and you're going to implement. So Venu's already told me I love writing. Going to start that now. Fantastic. Keep me updated how that goes. Very good. And Venu, also meditation. You said you're going to try that. Preman says empathy, great virtue, really. Absolutely. Yeah. So what about the others? What is it that you all are going to start doing from now on to really build your emotional stamina from the tips and the tools that I've given you today? I'm going to read each one of them. So go ahead, write it. I'm going to be reading all of yours right now. Mala saying chanting, fantastic, good. Himani saying meditation, very good. Venu saying meditation, excellent. But don't give up, guys. Don't give up. It's not easy, neither it's too tough, but don't give up. Even 5 minutes, do it every day. Manish is saying we'll do meditating, fantastic. Sam says reassess myself, meditating, absolutely nothing more powerful than that. Aishwarya Katare is saying Om chanting, very good. Please keep it every day, even for few minutes. Bharat is saying every experience is a success. Today's session is one. Oh, how lovely. Thank you so much. Exactly. I feel so successful, and what I really love doing is to coach people, to talk to people and help people in their wellness. And that is my biggest mission. And I really want to do this at the bottom of my heart, which I'm doing on a weekly basis. And I'm so glad that you guys are allowing that to happen and loving it. Bharat is saying meditation. Preman is saying I will send my work, fantastic. Ram is saying meditation and assess your thoughts, yes. And you can teach the same thing to your kids. Please be aware, whatever you're doing, your kids, your parents, your family is actually getting affected by everything that you're doing. All right, Okay, any more coming in, let me know. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for being on this winner mindset series with me. If you've not seen my previous sessions, it's on my FB wall. Feel free to share it. And in fact, that's my one of the requests. Please go ahead and share it on your walls. Feel free. I want these messages to reach out to as many people as you want, as you can, because this is the time that we really got to help out each other. And I have no qualms about somebody reaching out to me for any kind of help that you think from one of my sessions that you've had. I would love to help you out with that. All right. So share my video. If you really think it's going to help somebody, like it. I want you to comment on it. I want you to give me your feedback, which is really helpful for me because it helps me keep going. And I want your feedback. Yes. All right. Meditation. Okay, I'm just reading something as that came in. Preman says, I have wrote 70 letters to my friends, relatives, and it's great experiencing. The appreciating words make me love myself. That's amazing. Kudos to you. That's an amazing experience. And that's an amazing act. Very, very well done. Sam, true that the family reciprocates. Lovely. Sam, Mala, thank you. Venu Singh, thank you. Sam, fantastic session. Thank you so much. Manish is saying, thank you so much for the wonderful session. Learned a lot. Thank you so much once again. Fantastic, guys. Rashmi is saying, thank you. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave you today and see you soon. Talk to you soon. And please don't forget to share my video, this particular session. And stay safe, stay healthy, stay emotionally stable, and build on it. It's a long-term investment. It is not a 1 day or a 2 day activity. It is a long-term investment. All right. Bharat is saying, thank you, Viji, for a lovely session. Yes, most welcome. And I'm so glad to be seeing you guys week on week. And I can't tell you, I'm so happy to be doing this. Okay. Have a great evening. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay home. All right. And your mask. Thank you, guys, and see you. Bye-bye.